we were having audio issues. Apparently, my last audio video, the sound sounded really bad. So I had to correct that, and I finally got it better. I hope it works well. Anyway, let's go ahead and start with the president because I've only got about a half an hour before I can have to be at work. So we're going to go ahead and start.
El día de hoy vamos a informar sobre la subasta.
So today we're going to be informing regarding the auction
Para la venta de aviones
for the sale of airplanes
y de helicópteros
and helicopters
del gobierno.
of the government.
Como ustedes saben,
And as you already know,
la decisión
we made a decision in order to
los
sell
aviones, los helicópteros
the airplanes and the helicopters that were being
transportar a funcionarios
utilized
del más alto nivel.
to transport high-level
Aviones,
officials.
De lujo que
So airplanes that were luxury vehicles
nada tienen que ver con la realidad de pobreza
and they have nothing to do with the reality of poverty
que existe en nuestro país.
that exists in our country.
Eso es un reflejo, es una expresión de
That is-
cómo
That is a reflection, it's an expression of how
habían dos mundos,
there were two worlds,
el mundo del pueblo
the world of the people and the world
gobernantes,
and the world of the governors or
dos esferas
government,
distintas.
two separate spheres.
Mientras la gente
While
no
the
tiene ni
people
para lo
didn't
más indispensable,
even have for the most indispensable
para lo
things,
básico,
for the basic things,
para satisfacer sus necesidades
in
básicas.
order to satisfy their basic necessities.
Los funcionarios con dinero del pueblo, porque el presupuesto es dinero del pueblo.
And the functioning officials with the money of the people,
No
it's
es
not
de
theirs. It belongs
los
to the
servidores
people.
públicos.
It does not belong to the public service.
Nosotros somos simplemente administradores
We are
de
simply
los dineros del pueblo.
administrators of the funds of the
Pues
people.
los funcionarios
And the functioning
se
officials,
sentían reyes,
they felt like they were kings.
era como una monarquía
It was like a monarchy,
criolla
like a Creole monarchy.
y vivían colmados de lujos
And they
y de
lived
privilegios.
full of privileges
se decidió
and luxuries. And for that reason, we decided
Vender estos aviones
to sell these airplanes,
y que solo quedaran los aviones
and that
que
only
se
the
utilizan para la seguridad,
airplanes
los
that were
que
used
utiliza el
for
ejército,
security by the
la
military,
marina,
the Marines,
son los únicos que
they're
tienen
only ones that we
permiso, autorización
would have permission or
de utilizar
authorization
aviones.
to be utilizing airplanes.
Todo al servicio de la población,
Everything at the service of the people.
ambulancias aéreas,
Ambulances
equipo
in the
para
air,
apagar incendios
equipment to turn off fires,
y
or
desde
put
luego
out
la
fires.
seguridad pública.
And of course,
La
public
protección
security, civil protection,
Pero no para el traslado de funcionarios.
but not to transport high-functioning
Porque-
officials.
Usaban los aviones hasta para ir a jugar golf.
They abused it. They even
Los
used the
helicópteros.
airplanes and the helicopters to go play golf.
Entonces vamos a informar sobre esta subasta.
So we're going to be
Ha llevado
informing
tiempo
regarding this auction. It's
Por-
taken some time
que hay que ordenar la documentación.
Because we have to put all the documents in order.
Aviones, helicópteros que van en las distintas áreas de gobierno.
Because these airplanes are in different areas of government.
Con créditos.
With credit or on credit.
O rentados.
Or rented.
Y se fue aclarando todo. Y es un proceso.
And so we had to clear everything up, and it's a complex process for the sale of these airplanes.
En todo este proceso que ya se inició,
and in all this process that was already initiated, we have been accompanied by the ONU, the Office of Transparency called ONU,
se cumpla con todos los procedimientos,
so that we can comply with all the procedures.
Se rematen los aviones, los helicópteros,
that we not sell them too cheaply, low prices,
sino que sea a partir de avalúos,
but instead it should be based on the value
se lleve a cabo un
or appraisals,
seguimiento,
and they have to do some follow-up on this,
transparente completamente.
and it's transparent completely.
A Jorge Mendoza,
so we're going to have Jorge
que ha estado a cargo
Mendoza, who's been in charge of this whole process.
El banco que financiaba
Well, Banobras was the bank that used to finance this,
parte de estas adquisiciones,
or the majority of these acquisitions of airplanes.
Y por eso le pedimos a él que desde el principio coordinara todo este proceso.
And for that reason, we had him take over since the beginning. And I also invited the General of the Defense.
Ellos se hicieron cargo de la flotilla que manejaba el Estado Mayor Presidencial.
They took over the care of the fleet of airplanes.
Porque tienen especialistas y son los expertos.
And we're also asking the Air Force, because they're specialists and they understand about these airplanes and helicopters.
Manuel de Jesús Hernández González.
Manuel de Jesús Hernández González is the commander of the Air Force.
Vamos a escuchar.
And we'll listen now.
Informa
what
Jorge Mendoza.
Jorge Mendoza is informing us over this.
Muy buenos días a todas y todos. Con su permiso,
hello, very good day to all, one and all. First, I want to show you a video of the airplanes, or the air vehicles. So it's dated 13th of January. That's how many airplanes they have. That's the presidential airplane. You can see the luxury in there. Look at that. Very nice looking. There's the inside. A helicopter. So if they were being misused, the government took them back, so that high-level officials were just using them for their own, like if they were their own private property. So he made sure that they don't get it. Wow. B300 Hawker. EC 225 LP. Looks like another helicopter. A332? And that was the government of Mexico. That was their video.
Recapitulando sobre las acciones emprendidas hasta el día de hoy en lo relacionado con la enajenación de las aeronaves, quisiera recordar que el presidente nos instruyó identificar todas aquellas aeronaves que no tuvieran vocación clara en beneficio de la ciudadanía,
So the
particularmente
president
aquellas que
had
estuvieran dedicadas al transporte ejecutivo.
the president had asked us to review all the airplanes and to see which ones were being used improperly, specifically and most importantly, the ones that were being used by government executives or high-level officials,
De los servidores públicos.
public servants.
Después de un análisis
And
que se llevó a
after
cabo de
we
manera exhaustiva,
analyzed
se
it,
identificaron 72 aeronaves,
we discovered 72 airplanes,
33 aviones y 39 helicópteros,
33 airplanes, and 33 helicopters
de 8 instituciones.
of 8
Estas 72
institutions.
aeronaves incluyen el avión presidencial, conocido como el TP-01,
Okay, so here you can see the list. The presidential airplane. There's 38 commercials for the FGR. I'm not sure what that is. One that belonged to the Pemex company, 4 that were in maintenance, and 28 that are being taken due to, I guess, misuse. Okay, we'll go with that.
38 aeronaves que serán enajenadas por la Fiscalía General de la República como órgano autónomo.
So these the 28 are being taken back by the district attorney or the head legal department from the different states that have been misappropriating or misusing funds.
Una a ser enajenada por Pemex a un tercero, 4 que se encuentran hoy en día en mantenimiento y 28
So Pemex had set one aside for a third party, which was one of the ones they're taking back. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead because my time is short, and I do want to have as much of this as I could for you. Okay, let's see this. This is let's go with
1.500 millones de pesos en cada uno de estos aeronaves, en este proceso. Seguimos en la siguiente lámina, podemos ver la lista de todas las aeronaves que se estarán vendiendo.
So they're going to be
Se encuentran
auctioning.
5 aviones.
So this is the list of all the airplanes that are going to be sold at auction. All right, and I'm going to go ahead of that because
Oferta más alta considerando el valor mínimo de venta. El registro estará abierto a partir de hoy y hasta el 31 de enero de 2020. La convocatoria la pueden encontrar en la página.
So this is the page you would go to if you wanted to check out and register to buy an airplane. You can just go to that website. Okay.
Concluye el 31 de enero. Esto será seguido por una segunda fase.
Okay, now this is going to be followed by a
cada una de
second
ellas.
phase.
Y también, finalmente, podrán presentar.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead
Les
because
recuerdo que desde diciembre de 2018 la aeronave ha
Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm going to go past that.
Bueno, este es el tema de hoy.
So this is the matter for today.
Informar de cómo va este proceso, invitar
and they're
a
inviting you
participar
to
en
participate
esta subasta
in this auction
de la venta de aviones,
for the sale of
de
airplanes
helicópteros.
and helicopters.
Estamos seguros de que vamos a tener éxito.
We're sure we're going to be
Lleva
successful,
tiempo
and it takes
porque
time
es bastante dinero.
because it's a lot of money.
Estamos hablando
We're talking about
de solo en esta etapa
just in this
de
phase
más de 5,000 millones de pesos.
more than 5,000 million pesos.
Y pues se requieren compradores
And of course, we require
nacionales,
buyers,
extranjeros.
nationals and foreign.
Sí hay
And
quienes
yes, there are.
quieran participar en esta
There are people
subasta
that want to participate in this
además
auction. And besides that,
ayudarnos
to help us,
porque el dinero que se va a obtener
because the money we're going to get
se regresa,
will be returned
pueblo.
to the people.
nos va a permitir tener recursos
This will permit us to
para
have
comprar equipos
resources to buy
que hacen
equipment
falta en hospitales,
that is needed in hospitals,
rayos X,
X-rays,
tomógrafos,
tomography,
ambulancias,
ambulances,
solo por hablar
just to
de
speak of
necesidades de salud,
the
pero
healthcare
cuántas
needs.
otras
But how many
necesidades hay,
other needs
demandas
aren't there and demands
de la gente.
of the people?
Además,
And besides that,
entre más tiempo tengamos
the more time we have,
esta flotilla,
this time,
más nos cuesta.
this fleet, the more it costs us.
que hay que estar pagando mantenimiento.
Because you have to pay for maintenance.
Claro, no nos va a costar más,
But of course,
aún así,
even just sitting
que
there,
lo que costaba antes,
it's not going to be more than it used to be.
porque antes el gasto de operación
Because the cost of
era
operation
elevadísimo.
was very elevated.
Acuérdense ustedes de aquel viaje que se hizo en el avión presidencial,
Do you recall
el
that
último viaje,
last flight that was done in the presidential airplane? I think Argentina or Colombia. Oh, Argentina.
de los gastos.
The expenses.
Recuerdo que
I recall that they
el
charged,
Estado Mayor
the presidential
solo del
state
servicio de
charged
internet, o
only,
pagaron
or they paid for
una
simply
factura
a bill for
por servicios de
internet service
de ese vuelo
on
de
that
7
flight.
millones de pesos.
7 million pesos.
Acuérdense de cuántos rastrillos, y
Do you remember how many shavers,
cremas y todo,
creams?
que tampoco obedecían la realidad, sino
They
eran
didn't
facturas
obey.
falsas.
They didn't obey
Como-
reality. They were false receipts
Se
anyway.
consideraban gastos de
Because
seguridad nacional.
They were considered national safety
Se
expenses.
tenía
Then they could.
la autorización,
They had the
para no
authorization to not present
documentación.
documentation.
Esto se hizo mucho en gobernación
And they did this a lot in the
con el
government
tema de seguridad pública.
with using the matter of
Entonces,
public security or safety.
Ya
But now,
sin usarlos,
without using that,
manteniéndolos,
and if you maintain
estamos
them,
ahorrando
we are saving money.
bastante.
A
mucho,
lot. Very
porque
much.
ya no se usan
Because they're not being
Estos
used,
aviones.
these airplanes.
Para el traslado de
Well,
servidores públicos.
that is
Entonces,
to move
vamos
public
ahora
servants. So now
a que se vendan
we're going to allow them
de
to be
acuerdo
sold
a la valor. Jorge dijo algo
according to
importante.
their value. And Jorge said
mínimo es
something
la
very
value.
important. The
Como
minimum
subasta,
is what it's valued
pues es
at,
como los
or the appraisal
vehículos que se
It's
han
like vehicles
subastado,
that we've
o las
auctioned,
joyas
the jewels
o bienes que se
or
subastan
goods
en Los Pinos,
that are properties in Los
que
Pinos
tienen precio de valor,
that they have a price
empiezan
value, and then you start from
presentar
there.
propuestas
And
y
people
la
make
más alta
offers, and then the
es la
highest
que
is the
queda
one
con
that
el bien
gives to keep the good. It'll be like that.
Abrimos.
So now we're opening the floor. Okay, you guys, I am so sorry, but my time is gone. Perhaps I can do more of this tonight. I'm not sure. I'm not going to promise because I may have to stay for a double shift, but I just had to make sure that I did at least one today. You're welcome to watch this video in Spanish, and it's in the President's channel, Andrés Manuel Lopez Obrador. And if you have any understanding of Spanish, you'll be able to see what else happened. There was a lot of information. He talked a lot about how they misused funds and how they had no, well, they didn't care about the people at all. So they were living in the lap of luxury while the people were living in dire poverty, and things were unattended. Hospitals and also there was a talk, just so you know, or later on this, they talked about some states, some governors are refusing to accept the free medical for their people because right now they have control over the funds that are spent on in hospitals and for medicines and equipment and all that. And it is believed that they are misappropriating those funds as well. So of course they're not going to want to, but in any case, the president says, hey, you are able to do what you choose to do. We're not going to force you to do anything. But of course, I'm sure the people are not going to tolerate that because the government is offering to follow the law and give the people their free medical care paid for by the government. But if the states refuse to use that money or allow their citizens to get the free medical care and education and anything else that is offered by the government, I'm sure they're not going to be very popular with their constituents. So I hope they get their heads on straight because it probably won't go very well for them. So that's just, for the most part, I believe that most of them have already accepted it, and the government is paying and giving them extra funds for the, what is required, and paying for the medications and all that, because medications, medical care, and medical supplies, of course, everything is now free as guaranteed by the Mexican Constitution, which I hope we could do here in the U.S. That would be so nice. All right. Anyway, have a great day. Enjoy. Bye.